Today on the channel, like my old friend Jeff Lynn from Electric Light Orchestra always tells me, Kyle, you're headed for a showdown, a championship showdown with Bret Hitman Hart and The Undertaker.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mattel Basic unboxing and review. And today, from the Championship Showdown 2-packs, we've got Bret Hitman Hart and we've got The Undertaker. But for all your Mattel wrestling figure needs, make sure you hit up Wrestling Collectors Shop. Use discount code Kyle and discount code Kyle10 to save. So we're back to another Championship Showdown pack. You guys know by now my rules with basics. I'm only getting stuff that isn't made in elite form, or maybe a first time in the line, or a suited character, something a little different, or legends. And of course, two big legends, Hall of Famer Bret Hitman Hart and very soon to be Hall of Famer The Undertaker. 2-pack 90s wrestling magic from the old WWE, WWF time frame. Very, very cool to get these guys once again. Bret Hart, no stranger. Undertaker, no stranger to the Mattel lines. We might argue a little bit about, have we had good figures of Bret Hart in a while? It seems like it's been a while. We'll talk about when we get out of the package here. But we're going to, of course, do this unboxing like all the other unboxings on the channel. Going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to see where it goes from there. So let's take a look. There's the old Championship Showdown. The old battle packs are long gone. We're headed for a showdown like a young ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, nowadays. It does come with the stand, does come with the clear stands for it. Old school world title, I love it. I love the eagle on there. This beautiful, beautiful thing. Stands a little hit and miss. I don't know what to think about him. Of course, you got The Undertaker. Of course, you got Bret Hart. Glamour shot, Championship Showdown, WWE logo, all kinds of stuff. A little cross-sell on the back, of course, like we're used to. I'm probably going to pick up that Street Profits on clearance one day. I have the Street Profits in every single, it's the same figures, just different outfits. I don't know, I'm just going to keep that going, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. What are we doing? That's the question, and Pro Wrestling Tees has the answer if you check out my site on there. A little glamour shots, stuff like that. Got the action glamour shots, got a little bit of a tail of the tape, Championship Showdown. UPC's warnings at the bottom, nothing too fun, but let's read the back. Let's see what's going on with Undertaker and Bret Hart here. Undertaker, he is a powerhouse. He is from Death Valley, and his finishing move, it is the Tombstone. And then we get Bret Hart from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Finishing move, the Sharpshooter. And his style, Technician. And you know what they always say, styles make fights. So we got a powerhouse versus a technician right here. Bret Hart, wonderful. I'm a big Bret Hart fan. One of my all-time favorites. Definitely in my top 10 somewhere. Love some Bret Hart. Packaging there. See you later up high. Goodbye. And then we get the plastic prison. We got the stand in there. We got Bret Hart. We've got The Undertaker. This is a very solid looking Bret Hart. Bret Hart's had a lot of good basics over the years. We'll see how this one compares. Pop them out here. There it is. There it is. See you later. Goodbye. Of course, we'll do this stand first. We got the title right there. It looked like it's shaped like a title belt, which is pretty cool. I don't really use these, but maybe kids do, maybe people do. I just put it away in a box somewhere, but these do plug right in very easily. And the cool thing is you can plug them in almost anywhere. There's 3, 6, 7, 8 different hole spots here to plug in. And then you get the clip, of course. You plug the clip in whichever way you want to do it. It's really a lot of choose your own adventure, and that's not a bad thing. And it's good. Maybe there's kids that love these things. Whoops, wrong side. Kids that love these things, adults that love these things. You guys know I do love a display stand in all my figures. And then you do have pegs on here as well, so you can peg the figure in there, and then you can move the stand anywhere you want. So you can just plug it in like so, do whatever you want. You can have them doing karate moves against each other. It is a neat idea. I don't know if it's warranted. I don't know if it's needed. Obviously, it is extra money for this pack when you put this in there. If this was gone and you could drop the pack down for $1 and $1.25, I'd probably rather have that. But it is what it is. But we do have the stands there. But what we really care about here is the figures. And let's get down to the figures. We're going to start with the old Undertaker here. 2022 Hall of Famer, The Undertaker. The Undertaker figure I'm the most excited for, though, is Mean Mark Callous coming to the Legends line very soon. I've been screaming for a Mean Mark Callous figure for years. And 2022 it's just all coming up, Kyle. I'm getting my Mean Mark Callous. Cannot wait for that. As much as I love The Undertaker, and I don't really love The Undertaker a whole lot, he's not in my top 10. I know it's sacrilegious and everything. For whatever reason, I just didn't like the spiritual, and I just didn't buy it. It was too hokey for me, and I knew Mean Mark before The Undertaker, and I loved his thing. That was my first experience with the Heart Punch, which I thought was the coolest thing ever. But I always did prefer the Underbiker, as we've talked about on the show. I know I'm in the minority there, but I did like that version of Taker better. But that being said, as far as the spiritual Dead Man Taker era, this is my favorite version of that. This is my favorite era. Not so sure about his little teardrop under his eye. That was when Taker went to prison and murdered some people, I believe. But it's interesting, and that seems like it's a little bit too big of a teardrop. I don't feel like it was that big in real life. I could be wrong. I haven't studied his face in the mid-90s, but who knows. But it does look like Taker, but it does look just a little off. Like a little extra softness here. It needs to be a little bit more grimy, maybe. I don't know, but it's got a nice sculpt of the hair. It is a big hair, big mop of hair he's got going on here. But like I said, this is my favorite version of Dead Man Taker, and I know I'm in the minority on that one as well, probably. But I liked the more the Attitude Era and the crucifixion of Steve Austin and kidnapping of Stephanie and stuff like that. I like that era of Taker as far as Dead Man Taker goes. But right here, he's got his 2 elbow pads, so that is some extra. He does have his tattoos. No color in any of these tattoos. It is a basic, so you don't get a ton of articulation. The wrists do move. This right wrist is actually a little bit loose, which you don't see on basics very often. But the wrists move. He's got painted on wrist tape, black, of course. And he's got his shoulders move all over. You got the elbows, single jointed elbows. The waist, of course, moves. Very tight waist joint. Very tight knee joints. Extremely tight, as we always see in basics. You got a boot cut, so you do get some movement there on the boots if you need to. But it's not a terrible Undertaker for what it is. It's, basically a basic. A $10 basic here. Of course, he fits on a ringside stand. Why wouldn't he? Got to, of course, so if you want to go that route. But it's an okay version of this Taker. It's not terrible. It's not the best. It's not the worst. It's somewhere in the middle. Might be worth picking up. If you don't have this depiction of the old dead man in your collection, hey, go for it, by all means. There you go. So it's Taker. But now we get down to the main event here, and this is the one I was excited for. Bret Hitman Hart. Very good stance to Bret Hart here. I like that. Look at the legs on here. There is a gap between the 2 legs, and I really, really do like that. Got a little extra plastic on his arm. I love this gap in between his legs, where you can see Taker, his legs are like straight together. I like the stance here, and I wish all basics. I think, they took articulation away from the basics. Very disappointing. I understand it. I get all that. Cost cuttings. These are for kids. Elites are for more adult collectors and kids. But boy, if you could give this stance on basics, because basics usually have the Undertaker stance where the legs are close together, very tight joints. Give a little bit spread out like we got on Bret Hart here. It makes this figure look so much better. It makes him look better. I don't think there'd be any extra cost to look like they're jumping on a horse. They got a saddle almost. It just makes this Bret look more intimidating, a lot stronger. It just doesn't look as robotic as Taker looks with his legs just like a straight line up and down. You've got some movement to this, and it just much, much more eye-appealing here. So I like this Bret. Of course, this Bret, beautiful paint apps here. You got the pink and black attack with the white. You got the flames going on. This is a very, very strong Bret Hitman Hart figure. You got the skull on the back, the old Hitman skull. A lot of good stuff. You got the stars, of course, for his kids on his trunks. You got 4 there. Hitman down the side. You got the star on his boots, white boots and black. Got his top singlet on. He's got 2 knee pads. And he's got 2 elbow pads, elbow pads. He's got painted on pink wrist tape. Same articulation as The Undertaker. Very tight joints as we do see with the basics. And then we do got the patented Bret Hart with the hair in his face. And Bret Hart has struggled. I know we've talked about it ad nauseum on the channel, but Mattel has really struggled with Bret Hart's face sculpt. Just can't seem to get Bret right. Either we have all the hair in the face or no hair in the face and he's going bald. It just looks funny. But this is an old school Bret. It's more old school. It's not the true effects like we saw. So it is not terrible. It's still not the best. They still haven't had the best time. And it does look a little weird without having glasses. I wish we had Bret Hart glasses with this, but once again, it is cheaper packed. They are cost cutting. Things like that. But this looks really good. I forgot to mention he does come with a fist. Taker does not come with a fist, but Bret comes with a fist because he's a true professional wrestler. He knows when the ref's not looking, you got to throw a fist sometime. Even if it's illegal, but Bret knows. He knows what to do. But this Bret is very solid. I'm sure he'll fit on a ringside stand as well, for sure. I like this Bret. This Bret is worth the pack for me. We've had so many challenging Brets. I could see some people getting some of these recent Brets, like that WrestleMania one. Well, I don't know about the WrestleMania. Maybe. I guess you could. But boil and pop this head off, putting that on an Elite Bret, at least it's a little bit better head sculpt. It's crazy when we get some basics that have a better head than an Elite, but they're just struggling, and I don't know what the struggle is about. Somebody needs to sit in that boardroom at Mattel and say, we got to figure out this Bret Hart situation, and I'm sure they will. They'll listen to the fans. They're smart enough to figure that out, I have to imagine. But we need some good Bret Hart head sculpts. We need them so desperately. And let's start with a 2-pack of him and Jim Neidhart in the WrestleMania 2 gear. I want the Elite version of that. We've got basics. Give us the Elites. How about we start there with a good Bret head sculpt? So we'll see. But I'm all for this. For 20 bucks, give or take, keep track of, the Amazons of the world, maybe your toy stores. You might be able to get this on a deal if you're playing a little bit of that long game. Basics sometimes do drop in price, but a very solid one. 2 Hall of Famers. I got to think this will sell better than your typical Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley 2-pack or something like that. I got to think this will go because you'll get collectors like me picking this one up as well. But very, very solid, especially the Bret Hart. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? You picking this pack up? You passing on it? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. You might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the old notifications on, follow along on Patreon where you can get this video and many, many other videos much, much earlier, plus exclusive content. SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. So for The Undertaker and Bret Hitman Hart, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.